Hey, what's up, guys? I'm interrupting the regularly scheduled programming. I'm working on the next big video here, but it's taken a little bit, and I really wanted to make some other videos in the meantime instead of waiting for that one to be done and dropping that. Because frankly, my life has been upended. It's been turned upside down recently. One of my favorite games right now that I've been playing a lot with the boys has been severely DDoS'd and taken offline. Of course, I'm talking about Arma Reforger. I've really been enjoying my time playing Arma Reforger. I've come back to it recently with the new updates, and me and all the boys, we've been having a real blast. We've been having a ball, if you will. You try to get on the servers, and the back end for the server system no longer is working. They DDoS. It's no dice. You literally cannot play it. There's no game playing to be done here. So it's back to Arma 3 for most of us. The lead developer of Arma Reforger said, we pissed someone off. This has kind of been ongoing. There was a DDoS attack briefly a few days ago on January 30th, around then, but the servers got back up, and now they're being DDoSed again in February. Today is February 2nd. This is exactly what it looked like then, and it's what it's looking like again. Arma Reforger is being DDoSed and extorted for money. This is allegedly the hacker who is DDoSing Bohemia Interactive's backend. Xinjiang Z? Who gives a fuck, right? Oh, wow, look, is this some sort of Chinese sympathizer or Russian sympathizer? Arma players, we've been continuing the attack on Bohemia for several hours now. The players are suffering, and the changes in the defense of the game are not changing. Think about how important you are to the company as players. And this is like a shitty argument from this person, because this implies that like bending to the whims of communist dictatorships is not only the responsibility of Bohemia, but it's also an affront to its customers and player base if they do not do so, which people in the States, how much we love communist dictatorships. So this person has been DDoSing Bohemia Interactive's backend and knocked the game offline because they, on Arma, have had modded servers that anybody can run. Look, anyone can post their own server. There's a server browser. You can download the server files. You can run your own server really easily in Arma Reforger. And there's been a few servers on Arma Reforger that have been running Ukraine war modded servers, which, look, to be totally honest with you, that's super fucking cringe. LARPing on a video game where you're playing a real-life war that's actively still ongoing and happening right now, that tons of innocents and soldiers are dying every day in, that's really fucking cringe. That actually takes the cake, I think, in like the most sort of chronically online cancerous internet bullshit I've seen in a while, okay? I didn't play on any of those servers. I thought they were super fucking annoying and cringe to see in the first place, and I think everyone on there is probably a huge fucking nerd, but that is why this Russian, either state-sponsored actor or sympathizer, what have you, has allegedly knocked the game offline completely from being played, saying that if they do not take those servers down, if Bohemia Interactive, the developers of the game, do not permanently ban those mods that allow you to play the Ukraine war and ban those particular servers from ever coming back at those IP addresses or whatever, they're not going to let the game come back online. They're not going to stop DDoSing. Now, is that true? I don't know. It does seem like they do have the ability to obviously DDoS the game and keep it offline for some duration, but how long they'll be able to sustain that attack is uncertain. I think if Bohemia really wanted to call their bluff here, they probably could wait it out, but at what cost to the very newly budding game that Arma Reforger has been? Very recently, content creators have been making posts and videos and stuff like that about Arma Reforger, and it brought a lot of new players onto the game, and we saw a really big uptick in player count on Arma Reforger lately, and just interest in general, and it's been really fun. I've had a lot of fun in the game lately with the boys, but it seems as though this is going to really put a monkey wrench in all of that growth that Arma Reforger was seeing, because now there's this massive server issue and all this political charged drama, it seems, as well. And if Bohemia Interactive, like, they're damned if they do, damned if they don't in this situation, because if they play ball with these possibly state-sponsored cyber threat actors, and they're also censoring their own game, bending to the whims of those threat actors, and then if they don't ban those servers, if they don't do what the hackers are demanding, then they're really being held at ransom because they can't make money. New people aren't going to buy the game, and people are going to know the game has server issues. It's going to cut into Bohemia's bottom line, and it's going to affect the overall longevity of Arma Reforger as well. If something like this continues for too long, as we've seen with other games like Payday 3 and things like that, if this continues for any duration, really, it can have a really lasting impact on the longevity and health of the game. It's something that you may or may not be able to bounce back from if you're a games as a service type product, and that really hinges on having good multiplayer connectivity. Because I don't know about you, but I don't think most people are playing Arma for the single player. And this is from the translated Telegram channel. Here's what the guy said. Everyone who's attacking together with us, you're doing great. In the comments, there's a total rage from fat American gamers and Ukrainians. It's clear that this is targeting the Ukrainians and the Americans. So this is absolutely a Russian or Chinese propagandist move to censor a fucking video game, which Russia and China are really into censorship and lack of freedoms. Today, on February 2nd, the DDoSer also said, and this is just a few hours ago, let me clarify a few things. The attacks are just for fun, not for money, until it has a high load. The company behind this game hasn't even tried to protect their servers yet. I'm not from the game squad. The more whiners complain in the comments, the more I want to see their agony, which as someone says here, which I do agree with, literally child behavior. This is loser shit. This is child behavior. This is the same shit that Lizard Squad did back in the day to Blizzard games, and this is the same stuff that one could argue taking PSN down for the GeoHost ban that Sony did back in the day, where all of PSN went down, which was claimed as an attack by Anonymous for the sort of permabanning of GeoHots just for jailbreaking his PlayStation. One could argue this is kind of in the same vein, but I think that kind of hacktivism, as they call it, it was a little more justified at the time, sent a good message. Sony got their shit together, never really had a problem since. That's all fine and great. But something like this, it just rubs me the wrong way because it's bullshit, right? Like, it's childish bullshit, just like Lizard Squad, who they just want to flex their script kiddie bullshit. Oh, wow, you can flood shit with packets. Oh, wow, you can do these attacks. Wow, that's amazing, dude. Yeah, anyone could learn how to do this shit, especially if, as they're claiming, the servers aren't even that well protected because, yeah, Bohemia, I don't think they're a huge studio, if I'm not mistaken. They have over 400 employees across the world in totality. It's just childish bullshit, and these script kiddies need to stop practicing on these big game companies, because look, this isn't something you can really put on a resume if you're not actually doing bounties, if you're not actually submitting the bugs, if you're not actually submitting your exploits to the companies or to cybersecurity firms to bounty hunt these issues for payment or clout or getting a job, then it's fucking pointless. You can't put this shit on a resume. You can't put this shit on a portfolio because it's fucking illegal. And you're not helping anyone. You're just making everything worse for no reason because your ass hurt. What? Because the Ukraine war is being depicted in a fucking video game? Like, you don't have better shit to do? Who gives a fuck about what the Russians think, and who gives a fuck about what the Chinese think about a fucking video game while they're committing like war crimes and there's a humanitarian crisis in their own countries? Hop off our dicks, okay? Which, by the way, I mean, this guy, if he feels so fucking strongly about this that he wants to hack the game, he should actually, if he wants to help the cause of Russia, he should get to the fucking front and sit in a trench. He's a military-aged male, although this is some 12-year-old behavior, so I don't really know if he is military-aged. That's really my roast, okay? I think this type of shit is cringe. I thought Lizard Squad was fucking cringe back in the day for what they were doing. It's not cool. It's not funny. It's just, you're just a fucking edgelord. You're just like a fucking neckbeard for doing shit like this. This is a really big deal, and Bohemia Interactive is in a rock and a hard place because on one hand, I don't want them to bend to the whims of these Russians or Chinese or whatever the fuck they are that are doing this. But at the same time, I want to play the game. And I also don't want the game to die because of this, because like I said, if this goes on for too long, it's going to really kill player count. It's going to really kill the momentum that the game is having. Depending on how this gets resolved, though, it could put Arma Reforger even higher up in the headlines and actually be good PR for them in a way, and then have more people come to the game, which would really be a stick in this guy's fucking ass if that happens. So hopefully we do see headlines like this and stuff like this circulating and causing even more people to discover Arma Reforger, which is the precursor to the Arma 4, which is coming out probably in a few years, realistically. Yeah, I want to see the game back online, but I also want to say fuck you to these guys. So hopefully we can just get this kind of stuff circulating. Yes, Bohemia maybe should play ball for just the moment and take those servers down for the moment and tell these threat act, oh yeah, we'll play ball. In the meantime, work on their back end, hire some really great cybersecurity people to run blue team defense against this red team threat actor here, and really lock all their shit down, make them more impenetrable potentially, or at least make it incredibly costly and unsustainable to maintain a DDoS attack for too long, and then allow people to do whatever they want in the game, put up whatever servers they want in the game, not censor anything, and say fuck you to these guys and use the headlines to drive more players onto the game than ever before. Easier said than done, obviously. Very cringe, though. I really wish it wasn't happening. And you really hate to see it with Arma specifically and Bohemia Interactive, because I do think, as this person puts fairly well 13 hours ago, the devs have done a great job on this game, and the game is very good. It's very well polished. While I do have a lot of performance issues, even though I have a god tier rig, they're working on it. It's a work in progress. It's a brand new game, and it's really more so a glorified tech demo jam-packed with content as a tech demo, but that's really what it is. For a tech demo, it's the best damn tech demo I've ever played. I really want to see the game get back online. Fuck these hackers for their bullshit, whatever it is, whether if it's moral grandstanding. Bohemia, do whatever you got to do to get the servers back up, and then do whatever you got to do to fuck people like this over and make sure it doesn't happen again. But either way, guys, I would highly recommend, when the servers get fixed, getting ready to drop in on some Arma Reforger, get ready to deploy to the battlefield here, because it's a really good game. It deserves your support, and I talk a lot of shit about video games on this channel because a lot of them fucking deserve the criticism. But Arma Reforger is one of those games that I think is very well made. It's a labor of love. There's so much attention to detail. It's such a good, fairly accurate game, to the point where I would go as far as to say it's the most accurate military game I've ever played as far as the realism aspect. It is a mil sim, so if you're not into that kind of shit, like, obviously this won't be your cup of tea as much, but we've been having a blast on it. I've got some great clips on it. I'd love to stream it when I finally get the sort of performance issues dialed in a little bit. I streamed it months ago, but earlier last year, but I haven't been streaming lately. I'd like to get back into streaming this game. But either way, guys, support the game, because it actually fucking deserves it. Unlike a lot of these other AAA titles and these cash grabs and shit like that, that is not the case here. And Bohemia could really use the support right now, okay? So go support them. Don't let this game die just because of a couple edgelords keyboard warrioring. Just show them some love. Show Bohemia some love. Maybe pick up the game if you can. Buy it for your friends, whatever the fuck. Drop in, have a good time. Thanks so much for watching and listening, guys. Rant over. Appreciate you. Keep an eye out for the new videos. I'd like to do more videos like this that are just super off the cuff and like really unprepared, not super over edited, not a ton of like whatever. And then also going to be doing stuff like the most recent video I put out, the new one I'm working on, that are a lot meatier, like more crazy shit and more prepared, a lot more editing and showmanship, whatever the fuck you want to say. So I'm gonna try to do both. We're gonna try to juggle it a little bit. New streams, keep an eye out. Merch is coming, keep an eye out. All that kind of shit. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening. We'll catch you on the next one.